Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's second video, doing the European outlook for today's second video. So as always on a Thursday, we're having a detailed look at the weather for next week's 10 days across Europe, and I shall get on that for you in a moment. Just to say that the first video released today was our 6 AM UK weather forecast, so it's a 10 to 14 day with all of regular features on the way as well. So please like, share and subscribe on all of today's videos and content, and thank you so much everybody for doing that. Right, we're going to start our situation across Europe today. So high pressure still blocking in the north and the northeast Europe, but low pressure is out in the Atlantic, threatening to bring more unsettled conditions into western parts of Europe. Upper air temperatures are cold across Scandinavia and the northeast of Europe, near normal out west, and still quite warm really across many southern and east and southeastern parts of Europe today. Mostly dry in the north of Europe, but what precipitation there is falling as sleet and snow in some places. It looks as though it could be quite wintry through some of the Baltic Sea states, with rain, sleet and snow potentially there through Latvia, Estonia and Lithuania. Light snow into northern parts of Sweden and Finland as well. They come further southwards. About got outbreaks of rain here through Spain, Portugal into France, and in fact sending over into Germany as well. Some showers on the eastern side of Europe and further showers, if not longer spells of rain, parts of the UK, Ireland and the Low Countries as well. Cold across the north and the northeast Europe, some parts of northern Scandinavia well below freezing day and night. Near normal temperatures out west, still generally quite warm through the Med and into this eastern portion of Europe, particularly from the Balkans to the Black Sea. Temperatures there still looking quite warm, though not as warm as it was a few days ago. Friday, tomorrow, sees low pressure remaining in control across much of western Europe. Again, got the blocking of high pressure up to the north and northeast. Upper air temperature continue to be cold in the north and northeast Europe with that blocking area of high pressure. Otherwise, it's low pressure from off the Atlantic with about average upper air temperatures. Again, quite warm through the southern and eastern and southeastern parts of Europe with the upper air temperatures. Further showers, if not longer spells of rain, through western portions of Europe, some of those extending into more central regions. Even in the east, we've got some outbreaks of rain pushing through from Poland in towards the Ukraine. Now we go southwards of that into the Balkans, there's further heavy showers. Remember, go further north, of course, it's cold enough for snow then through, again, Baltic Sea states, over the Baltic Sea into some parts of eastern Sweden and also southern Finland. There might be a few snowflakes falling through there. Much of the Med looking mostly dry away from northern and western parts of Spain and Portugal. Temperatures still very warm in this east and southeastern region of Europe. That average again through western regions, UK, Ireland, France, Low Countries, Germany, near normal temperatures there. But go further northwards, anywhere north of Denmark really, and it looks quite cold again, particularly cold through the far north and the northeast of Europe. That's the situation for Saturday, so low pressure continues to be dominating weather from the Atlantic into much of West Europe. The block still holding its ground in the north and the northeast of Europe, though. Actually, the upper air temperature is becoming colder across parts of Scandinavia on Saturday. We might even see some snow coming all the way down into southern portions of Sweden and maybe even into Denmark by the weekend. Certainly, upper air temperatures look cold enough. Elsewhere, generally warm with the upper air temperature in the far south, southeast Europe, and again near normal with upper air temperatures across western parts of Europe. Further heavy rain through Spain and Portugal into France, and on into central southern parts of England, Wales and Ireland. More showers into Scotland over the North Sea in towards the Low Countries as well, and further northwards with some of that precipitation pushes into Denmark and southern parts of Sweden. There might be some snowfall, some sleet and snow possible there, and certainly chance of some snow into parts of Finland and the northwest of Russia. Many other parts of Europe are mostly dry. There could be a few showers through the central portion of the Med. Again, pretty warm in the southern southeastern regions, average temperature in the west, and then we see the cold actually intensifying over Scandinavia, looking bitterly cold there through Norway and much of Sweden and up into Finland and the northwest of Russia as well. Even the Baltic Sea states looking quite cold. Well, that takes us through to Sunday, when low pressure continued to be in the ascendancy across the west of Europe, blocking area of high pressure, beginning to retreat and ease away across Scandinavia, but we still look quite cold with that shot of low pressure there. Meanwhile, though, south east, we're drawing up a southerly wind into these eastern portions of Europe, so that actually draws up some warmer air from North Africa through many central, southern and southeastern parts of Europe. Again, the west of Europe, so France, UK, Ireland, about average with your upper air temperatures, still looking bitterly cold across much of Scandinavia, especially as we go further northwards towards northern Sweden and into Finland and the northwest of Russia once again. So there'll be further outbreaks of rain in the west of Europe, some very wet weather through France, in towards the Low Countries, Belgium, Holland, Netherlands, and on into Germany. Further showers through the UK, Ireland, also affecting parts of Spain and Portugal. This precipitation just here through southern parts of Sweden into Denmark, southern Norway as well, and then over the Baltic Sea into the Baltic Sea. So some of that could well be falling snow, maybe quite significant snow in some places. And to the north of that, snow showers or snow flow are definitely likely through northern and northeastern parts of Europe. That leaves much of the south and the east of Europe, again, mostly dry, though there could be some showers through parts of Italy. And the temperatures on Sunday, again, relatively warm through the Med and into the southeastern portion of Europe from the Balkans to the Black Sea. Average temperatures through the west of Europe, and again bitterly cold across Scandinavia. Look how cold it is through central northern parts of Sweden. You're talking about maximum temperatures there well below freezing by day and by night, and usually cold across Scandinavia this weekend. Into Monday, low pressure again remains in control through the western part of Europe. High pressure over on the east side of Europe will combine with the low out west to draw up a southerly wind across the eastern regions of Europe. Again, low pressure is sitting in the far north. The upper air temperatures look warm or very warm through the south and the east of Europe, cooler or colder though out to the north and the west. Further heavy showers, if not longer spells of rain through many western parts of Europe, so wet weather through Spain, Portugal, through Iberia, up into France. Some snow likely over the Alpine regions, of course. Heavy showers into northern Italy. Then wet weather carries on into the UK, below countries, Germany, and that readily turns to sleet and snow again as it pushes up into southern parts of Scandinavia and into the Baltic Sea states. Snow showers in the far north of Europe, that leaves much of Eastern Europe mostly dry once more on Monday. Warm in the east and southeast of Europe, cooler in the west, and bitterly cold in the far north once again. Tuesday, again, we've got that blocking area of high pressure in the North Sea fending off these areas of low pressure, some degree in the west. The upper air temperatures still look warm, or very warm, actually unusually warm, across eastern parts of Europe there, in the southeast of Europe on Tuesday. Some very hot air coming out, that's going to southern Italy, again around the Ajax into the Balkans and over in towards Romania, for example, up towards the Black Sea too, and even into Ukraine. Looks really warm there on Tuesday. Out west, the upper air temperatures are about average, and it's still bitterly cold across Scandinavia, though the coldness of the air may be retreating a little bit. Further heavy showers, long spells of rain coming in off the Atlantic into western and even central parts of Europe, mostly dry on the eastern side of Europe, and cold in the far north with some snow flurries. Upper air, the surface temperatures, I should say, look very cold through Scandinavia, average in the west and warm over in the east of Europe. Wednesday sees low pressure dominating in West Europe, high pressure both sticking its ground across Scandinavia once again. The upper air temperature still looking very warm in the south and east of Europe, average in the west, and cold again up in the far north of Europe. Further wet weather to come across many parts of Western Europe. Some really heavy rain possible through northern parts of Spain, Portugal into France. That might extend up into the Low Countries and back to the UK and Ireland as well. Further wet weather over on the eastern side of Europe. Much of this to the south will be falling as rain, but as it moves further northwards through Belarus and on into the west of Russia, then we could see the risk of some significant snow. Scandinavia, again, looking mainly dry away from the far south, where a mix of rain, sleet, snow is likely. Temperatures, again, cold across the far north, northeast Europe, and a bit cooler, actually, in the West Europe, too. Island of the UK, see the temperatures lowering a little bit on Wednesday. Still relatively warm, though, in the southeastern portion. And then that takes us through to Thursday, where high pressure continues to set towards Scandinavia. Low pressure is deepening in the Atlantic, maybe threatening a wet, windy end to next week. And low pressure beginning to develop through some central and eastern parts of Europe as well. But temperature starting to ease back a little bit through the east and southeast Europe, but still above average for the time of year, and still looking cold across the far north and the northeast of Europe. Showers and longer spells of rain progressing eastwards into some eastern parts of Europe, again turning readily to snow, that bunch into cold air sitting over Scandinavia, and looking really wet, windy out in the Atlantic actually, with that developing area of low pressure to the west of Ireland and the UK. Generally quite cool with the temperatures by Thursday. I think across much of Europe, the southeastern corner still looks relatively warm, and of course it remains bitterly cold through Norway, much of Sweden, and up to Finland and down to Baltic Sea states as well. Right, I'll just run you on to day 10. So that's Friday next week. It's been very wet and windy then, with very wet and windy then, with this area of low pressure sweeping in off the Atlantic, potentially bringing gales or severe gales to much of West Europe. That starts to see the high pressure of Scandinavia retreating back to the west of Russia. And as we go through the first weekend of November, we are essentially watching low pressure breaking through into the north of Europe, bringing milder air up into Scandinavia as we get into a traditional pattern of high pressure to the south and low pressure is away to the north, and that drags in southwesterly winds right away from the Atlantic all the way to Russia potentially by the 5th of November. But of course, that's a long way off and remains to be seen. Okay, that's your European outlook for this week. We'll do it all over again next week. If you've enjoyed the forecast, found it interesting and informative, please do like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And we'll be back a little bit later on with 10 to 14 day, which will include all other regular features. Come back for that later. For the European outlook for this week, that's all for now. And thanks for watching.